My name is Mohammad Barrangi. I'm originally Iranian. I live in UK in 5 and 7 years. I'm illustrator and printmaker. My all of work about humanity and immigration. For this work, I'm using name and subject about 1001 night. I'm using an Iranian pen and using Iranian calligraphy. I'm using more in a color. I usually making in a paper. I buy it normal paper. After that, make a color like Iranian color. After print and transfer my work in a paper, we are scan and sending to company. Printing is like aluminum to large work. For this project, I seen too many person working in a hospital in a NHS. About coming is another country like Indian, Pakistani, and Iranian, and another country. I really interesting for this project. I using in a person a story, someone talking about a feeling, why moving here, why working for NHS, why we are love it in a working in a NHS. I'm working for this project for NHS and Unlimited. Unlimited is for disabled artists and supporting disabled artists. For my Olaf character, just have a one hand because I believe I'm disabled, but I never have a two hand. I'm making for my Olaf work in a just one hand, using in a female face for my work as well, because in a woman for me like a hero. It's very interesting because after I reading some interview with some lady, she is from Pakistan. She's after moving here talking about feeling, feeling like lonely in a coming another country, different language, different culture, but it's very challenging for her. But after I reading like that, I see, oh, not just me, another person like me in immigration have like this feeling about another country, a new challenging, a new person, new food, everything is for all of persons, new experience. Yes, I love it, honestly, this because, you know, I'm every time have an exhibition in but this time, because we are contact with another person, some person no artist, no understand about art in a doctor, but just we are using just person experience about working in NHS.
We really wanted the opportunity to do something on a large scale. So when this opportunity came up, and particularly when the hospital said, oh, we'd like to do something that celebrates our international staff, it was kind of like, you know, Mo's name came into our heads, like, you know, with the force of a sledgehammer, going, brilliant, this is the opportunity. Irrespective of the fact that he's a disabled person, you know, he is a world-class illustrator and artist. His work is so unique, his work is so powerful, empathetic, evocative. There were just so many words.
Stay and Thrive is a really important programme that we operate within the organisation for our international nursing. We're recruiting them to be part of our workforce, and we want them to stay, but we want them to thrive, and so that they can then build a career here within our organisation. And that's part of our drive, so that we have an organisation and a workforce that reflects the patients that we see and the communities that we serve. So how can we become more representative? And we've won an award around it because of the pastoral support that we provide, but also the developmental support so that they can build their careers. And we pride ourselves on that. We want to be a teaching organisation because we'll get better staff, and we'll get, you know, people will fulfil their true potential.
Good art, you can making good art after, you know, you are enjoying in your life. You have a more experience about real life. In a hospital is very, very real, you know. Some person coming is very sick, very sad. Someone have a cancer is very difficult, yeah. Maybe someone died in the hospital. Sometimes is very sadly, sometimes is, you know, we are talking between doctor and in a nurse, you know, maybe feeling is too tired. After seeing a person, I using that one for my story, for my work. It's very nice experience for me, for artists, because we are usually using gallery and maybe group exhibition and museum, but this time no, in a hospital is no very, you know, it's normal for artists, but I love it.
We stereotypically expect. But you know, this is a place that cares about people, whether they're staff, whether they're patients, whether they're visitors, you know, whether they're artists, that actually sees the value of that, and that's really beautiful. You know, it's such a site-specific piece, but the stories and the process and the end work, it's beyond Wakefield. It's of Wakefield, but it's also a story that is bigger than Wakefield. Our year is a year of activities for, by, with us. I live in Wakefield. I'm part of it. I feel that it's my year.
It's very good, but it's little challenging about the size in the wall in the hospital. We are, I think, is 1 month, 4 times going for sizing and measure in the wall. I'm making 26 different work and a different panel for this one, and many are using for this one here many color, because I really interesting someone coming in a hospital after seeing my work, and in this color is like happiness and happy after seeing my work. We are working hard, but I think is after my work in install in the wall, I'm not very, very happy, because every day some person sending me message talking about, oh, we are love it in a color, we are love it about the story. Yes, I'm so happy now. I working within Unlimited, I think is very good, because I believed in a disabled artist like family, you know. Unlimited is for me is too important, because it's good organization. Every time have a good project and helping in a disabled artist and supporting disabled artists, I think is amazing. Some person seen like in NHS and in a hospital, seeing my work, say, oh, some artist disabled making that one is very interesting for me, because someone think some person is disabled, can't drawing, can't working, can't anything, but Unlimited say we can working, we can drawing, we can making good art, and yeah, I love it.
I was asking about the impact on a couple of staff members who were here at the opening. Obviously, there was a staff member there who was Iranian, and I said, "Is it, you know, is this part of home?" And you know, she looked at me and she said, "You know, this is my home." She said, "This is my home, and this is my home," pointing to the mural. So the idea that those two things could coalesce in one thing, where there's just those echoes of home being in the same place, casting shadows over each other, I thought was really beautiful.
I think having staff stories on there is really important. So not only does it have that impact for patients arriving, but the fact that we are capturing how our staff feel, particularly our international staff, I think is wonderful, because they are part of the hospital. It's the hospital community, and their thoughts and feelings are captured in the wall, and that's amazing. So yeah, really good.
I was just noticing on one of the paintings, you know, there's one of them which talks about how difficult it is to settle in a different community in a different country. And that was the feedback that we got about 2 years ago. And that's where our Stay and Thrive program developed from.
If it gives somebody who is going through crisis or the awful period of waiting, whether you're waiting for news, good or bad, if it's something to look at and find elements in, those two things are really vital functions. But I do think it's more than that, and I think that's all of it. I think it's the colours that I think are a really soothing palette. We need something that engages us emotionally and intellectually, and this piece does that.
So I think it's just going to give such a lift to the hospital, and to arrive and see something beautiful and colourful and actually quite thought-provoking as well. I think that's great. I think it'll make such an impact. So yeah, we're delighted with it.
If we don't see disability as a negative mindset, if we don't see access barriers as a negative mindset, then we start to take away that stigma. But what would it be like to have that over the third of a population feeling fully part of our shared humanity? And if the wall can be a chink of making that happen, then we've really created something amazing.